This is an arm lock escape from a little different leg positioning. It's where they have both legs over the head. And you saw this escape being used in the Roger Gracie Buchecha match. Actually, Buchecha, the first match, Buchecha caught Roger in an armbar, and he was able to get out with this escape. And I believe also Gary Tonin got out of Krohn's arm lock using a very, very similar escape. So the idea for this one is he's got both legs over the head. Okay, so instead of, a lot of times we have one leg over the body, one leg over the head. In this situation, he's got both legs over the head. Now, normally, when they have both legs over the head, just so you know, if you're ever going for this armbar, the one that's closer to the shoulders, the one that's closer is always the one that's going to be lower, and the other one's going to be on top. Okay, that gives you a little bit of a tighter bite than having this one on top and this one biting. Okay, so we're here. So again, I'm going to just try to buy myself some time by using my hand, grabbing my fingers, pulling everything close. Okay. So the key to this one is turning my head towards his butt. So I'm going to be looking towards him. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is my hand has to go here to his knee. Okay. The scary part is when I let go, I know he's going to try to take my arm back. Okay. And so the key now is being able to free my head. Because he has both legs over the head, the goal for me is to get my head out from this control. Okay. What's interesting is he has this control of my head. We've talked about how important, I've mentioned before how important the control of the head is for the arm lock. So many of the escapes we do, the main focus is how do we clear the head, how do we get the leg off the head to be able to escape. Always clearing the legs off the head, and once we clear the legs off the head, it relieves so much pressure. So the same thing we're trying to do here. Okay. So from here, I'm pulling my wrist down. I'm going to go here, and again, I'm using this swinging of my legs, right? I swing my legs, and I can actually pull with my heels to clear my head, and I keep these knees, I keep this knee off my face, okay? So, from this type of bite, right, he's got me tight. If my head is here, if I'm not turning my head away from him, what happens is, with the back of my neck, I actually, just by tucking my chin, turning towards him and tucking my chin, it kind of makes my head a little bit more slippery to be able to free his heel. If I'm stretching my head away and he's biting, sometimes my head can get stuck, but if I tuck my head, okay, so let's go from this position. So what you can see I'm doing is I'm turning my head, I'm actually tucking my chin, okay, so I'm tucking my chin in, and what that does is it makes my head a lot smaller and easier to clear. Okay, so he's here, I turn my head and I tuck it in. Okay, it makes my head easier to clear. And from here, hand goes here. So as he goes to pull it back, see how I walk my legs? So the goal for me is to bring my legs towards his hip, and as my legs go towards him, my head comes out. Okay, that tucking of my chin is so important, and bringing my head close, because now even if he's biting tight, right, it's so much easier to get my head out. Okay. Once my head comes out, obviously, if I can come up and come on top, I'm in a much better position, right? So that's how we clear the legs from off the head. So anytime they have both legs over the head, the goal is to clear the legs off the head. And you saw Roger do that. He actually pushed the legs, cleared the legs off the head, and even though Roger or Buchecha was still trying to break his arm, he was able to actually lift his head up. So let's actually come back here, and we'll show kind of what happened with that match. The escape wasn't quite as clean, but obviously at the highest level, these guys are so good. But he actually kept here, and even though he was trying to lay back with my arm, keep your knee tight. So see, he's able to actually release some pressure. He would have actually had to pull it this way, but once you start to get up, right? Once you start to clear your head, even from here, as long as I keep this weight of his knee off my shoulder, I can start to bring my elbow out and start to escape. And so that's what happened in that match. He was able to clear his head and able to keep that leg
prevent the leg from coming back over the head, and eventually able to come up on top and get out of the arm lock.